Hey everyone's Jackal Wolf back in MC Eternal with another 5 minutes. That's how I did it. Now, if you've been following along, you know that we are working our way through the quest book. Last episode, we were actually down on the Introduction to Science page where we recreated the Steam Dynamo, the Aqueous Accumulator, the Leadstone Flux Duct, the 6-item duct, which was the probably the most difficult of it all, the servo, and actually I didn't collect my reward for the hardened servo. So there's 75 monies and a loot reward of a water froster. Interesting. That looks like freezes nearby water into ice. That actually could come into handy very at some point in the future anyways, but that is really cool. But the whole reason we did that is because we're going to need a little bit of power today, and I did not have any good RF power in my system. Now, the reason we're going to need some power is we need to make some steel, which is going to require some machines to break down some coal into pulverized dust. But to start, what we're going to do this episode is we're going to go and focus on the iron paxel. Now, I've already done this because I actually started this quest quite a while ago, and it didn't work for me, and that was because I ran into a problem with the aluminum, which is going to be part of the next section here, and then we ran into the steel one. So this was one I did a little while ago, but we're only just getting to it right now. So to make a paxel, it is going to be any shovel, pick, or axe of the same material. So I've got iron here because I have an absolute ton of iron in my world, but the iron shovel, the iron pickaxe, and the iron axe and 2 sticks makes a iron paxel. Basically, this is a tool that will allow you to, dig and, mine and chop wood, as easily as if you had those tools there. So it's almost like the AIoT, which was the all-in-one tool. So that is, perfect. That's absolutely what we want. I've already claimed it. I've already got my 75 monies, so we're not going to worry about that. But next up, we're going to do the mining is my passion, and way back in the mine, and all we need to do is collect 32 copper, 32 iron ingots, 32 silver ingots, and 32 aluminum ingots. And like I said, this is the one that gave me the most trouble. Aluminum is very difficult to find in the world. It is extremely rare in the overworld, and even in some of the other world types. There are 3 ways of finding it. It is going to be the aluminum ore and then the bauxite ore. So the aluminum ore is, let's go find the overworld there. It is a 0.05% chance, makes it really rare. And then only, Y15 and Y36. So it's only about a 15, 16 a block area that you might be able to find it in. Makes it very rare. You could also get it, if you mine this bauxite ore. So basically the bauxite ore will give you a automatic drop of aluminum. But again, in the world, we go back to the overworld, which is right down here, 0.04%. These are the only ways to mine aluminum in your world, in the overworld. But again, the other worlds are no better. It is really rare to find. So what we ended up having to do is we had to grow it. Now, we grew it using the aluminum nuggets. And then we used the AgriCraft crafting, where if you've got 1 aluminum ore under a piece of dirt, which you need to turn into farmland, you can grow them using these Jazz Lumen seeds. We had to do a couple of things to get to it. We had to get the Ferrium seeds, which is the iron version of that, and then we had to mix melon seeds and pumpkin seeds together, and it's a whole little thing, but we did a full episode on it. It was worth doing the full episode on it, but that got us enough aluminum nuggets to make the 32 aluminum ingots, which is absolutely perfect. And where we go, we've got them right here. So here is our 32 copper ingots, our 32 iron ingots, our 32 silver ingots, and our 32 aluminum ingots. And there we go. Mining is my passion. That quest is complete. Again, the aluminum is the hard one on this one. Copper is a little bit rarer, but it's still, completely, you can find it in the world pretty easy. So there's our 100 monies. Here's our loot reward, a French horn. Interesting. Okay, so that is something new. That is the first quest, or the second quest of the day. Next up is the Ingots Part uno. That's going to require us to get 32 steel ingots, 32 bronze ingots, and 32 lead ingots. Now, the lead ingots are super easy to do. You find lead in your world and you just melt it down in your smeltery and you end up getting your ingots, which is absolutely perfect. The bronze ingots are a little bit more difficult. To make bronze, you need to alloy together copper and tin. There's a couple different recipes. Sometimes it's 2 copper and 1 tin will get you, it's sort of an equal number of bronze. So in this case, 3 copper, 1 tin should get us 4 bronze, which is what we're going to need to finish off this quest. Now, I could throw it into my smeltery over here. It would, alloy them together. But last episode, we made the simple alloy smelter. That is super cool. So we'll throw the 3 copper ingots and the 1 tin ingot, and it's progressing there. It is pretty quick, but you know what? Let's speed that up just a touch. We'll go throw some time in a bottle on there. And there we go. There is our bronze, and we have now got our 32 complete bronze. But now what we're going to do is we're going to make ourselves the steel. Now, steel is a little bit more difficult to make. There are a couple of different recipes. Some are higher level than what we are. The easiest one that I could find still requires power. That's why we created the power last episode. I've actually added 2 more steam dynamos up there just so we got a little bit more continuous, because we do have to make 32 of them. But to make the steel, we're going to need some pulverized coal. Now, to make pulverized coal, we're going to need a pulverizer. To make a pulverizer, we're first going to need a machine frame, which is 4 iron ingots, 4 glass blocks, and a tin gear. We made this one last episode as well, so I'm not going to get into that. We're also going to need some redstone reception coil. That is 2 pieces of redstone and a gold ingot. And then we're going to take the reception coil in the bottom, the machine frame in the middle, 2 copper gears, 2 pieces of flint, and a piston. That gets us our pulverizer and another quest. So I'm going to go plop that right down here so it's now powered up. And then let's go pop open our quest book. If we jump over to the Introduction to Science, there you go. There's our pulverizer. Simple ore doubling. So if you run an ore through it, you'll end up getting twice the pulverized material. Very similar to running through a smelter, except this one takes power instead of using up the lava. But there's 50 monies. That's not a huge deal. Now, originally, before I built power in this world, I was going to do the same thing using the quartz grindstone. This is a manual thing of doing it, but you could build it using some quartz or some Certus quartz, some stone, some cobblestone, and wood gear. And then you have to make yourself a hand crank out of sticks, and you just hand crank it. To be fair, I think I'm probably kind of glad, because manually crushing this coal would probably have taken quite a bit. So the pulverizer is probably the better way of going. It is powered up now. The recipe that I am using for steel is going to require 4 pulverized coal per iron ingot. There's a couple of, again, different recipes out there, but we've already got the simple alloy smelter, so I kind of want to use that one for this episode. But to pulverize the coal, we're just going to take it, we're going to throw it into the pulverizer, and it will slowly make some coal, pulverized coal. There's coal dust and pulverized coal. We need the pulverized coal. It's not actually putting it into the keeping it in the pulverizer, because I've got it right next to the alloy smelter. It's automatically pulling it over here, which is absolutely perfect. So why don't we go take that 32 iron, we're going to throw it up there, and it's already starting to do one. And let's see now. I've almost got 8 hours of time in my bottle. This is going to need speeding up, and this is going to need speeding up. So let's see how much I got left at the once I'm done all 32 steel ingots. so we are on the last steel ingot here. It is almost done, and there you go, 32 steel ingots. There's our quest. We used, I think, I had almost 8. We used over 4 hours of saved up time. Now, early on, I was just maxing it out, and the problem there was that my power supply was easily running out. So actually, I stopped doing that, and I was using 1s and 2s, and I think that was probably the best. So near the end, I probably only went through about half hour for about like the last half of this here. So that works really, really good. Each time you use it, I think it's about 5 minutes. So 23, and I guess it's not really doing anything. So it doesn't really seem to be doing anything. So that is fine. That is perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up our quest book, flip back over to the introduction, and there we go. A part uno, we got 150, and then another loot reward, lemon smoothie. Ooh, all right. Well, let's go and check that one out. I kind of wish we had a little patio. We could go and eat that, so we can make delighted meals out of those. Interesting. Not yet eaten. Well, you know what? Let's go and, or actually, we're not really hungry, so we can't really eat that one there. We'll have to test that one out next time. But that is going to be it for this one, guys. Let me know in the comments below if you did any of those things any differently than I did, especially the aluminum, especially the steel. Let me know if there's an easier way of getting those. The aluminum for me was the awkward, hard one. The steel wasn't quite so difficult. It's very similar to what we've done before, although in the past I've done it in the smeltery with the coal and the iron. It doesn't seem to be an option in this one. We had to go with like an actual powered machine to do it. But if you enjoyed this video, though, please think about leaving a like and a subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at Jackal Wolf. Also, check out the description below. There will be a link to my Discord page. I would love it if you guys stop by to say hi. As well, there'll be a link to my Patreon page. If you enjoy this channel, if you enjoy this content and you want to support, stop by, check it out. There are a lot of great perks out there for all of my supporters, including the potential Patreon only server, Minecraft server, or I guess we'll probably even do other games or something like that. Right now, I think we are one tier 2 or above Patreon away from me setting up that Patreon only server. So if that's something that interests you, stop by, check it out. The link's down there in the description. But that is it. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. Oh, don't want to break the roof.